Why computer science? You may ask yourself, what even is computer science? Computer science is the study of computers and computing, as well as their theoretical and practical applications. Computer science applies the principles of mathematics, engineering, and logic to a plethora of functions, including algorithm formulation, software, and hardware development, and artificial intelligence. Computer science is a very popular subject to study at the moment, but why exactly? There are several reasons for its rise in popularity over the years, but we've narrowed it down to our four favorite: salary, worldly advancement, game development, and web development. Salary is great. Everybody needs money to survive, and without money, you wouldn't be able to eat. Um, Everybody wants to have quite a bit of money, but let's not get too hasty. You won't be starting out making $650 bajillion a year, but there is always the possibility for making lots of money. Depending on what you want to do, there's a spectrum of possibilities. Let's say you're like this guy, no computer knowledge at all, a computer baby, if you will, but you want to have something like this. Um, Lots of money, a stable job, and just overall stability. Um, as I said earlier, there is a spectrum of wealth in the computer science. All these numbers are average estimations of what I could find on the internet, so don't sue me if they're not 100% correct. At the very bottom of the barrel, there's all of us college students with no money. How sad. If you want to try and develop your own game with little to no outside help, that market is very volatile. It all depends on if other people like your game. The very generous estimation of the average salary of an indie game developer is $11,000 a year. It's roughly the same when you create your own computer business. However, there are exceptions, such as CEO of Valve and Steam, Gabe Newell, who started out very small, but is now worth over $5 billion. Good for you, Gabe. If you're just looking to get hired on and make your way up the food chain, then software and game development for established companies is where it's at. Guaranteed salaries and benefits such as healthcare, dental, and emergency paid leave, but even though these salaries are more than the average in America, it's still only the middle of the pack in the computer science world. You're looking at an easy $60,000 to $140,000 a year for software development. But for game development, it depends on which company you work for. My numbers came from the AAA company Bungie. We've arrived at the top of the food chain, CEOs and executives. Obviously, you'll need a bit of business under your belt, but all of these jobs stem from the computer science world. At ArcBest, the executive jobs go from $200,000 a year to $1.2 million a year. And obviously, if you're Bill Gates who owns Microsoft, you have a net worth of $114 billion. You're stacked. This is just one of the many reasons computer science is popular.
The list of reasons I chose to study computer science is long, but one of the driving reasons is because I can combine my two main interests, visual design and computers. For as long as I can remember, I've had a passion for these two things. I got my first laptop as a Christmas gift at around 9 or 10 years old. After that, I was hooked. I'd be on my laptop anytime I wasn't sleeping, eating, or at school. I found a program called Paint.net, and I would spend hours using it, editing in images and creating art assets for games I was interested in at the time. As I got older, my interest in computers grew, but so did my interest in art and visual design. I had a few run-ins with programming at this point that didn't really go anywhere, but I was always the person my friends and family went to when they had issues with their computers. So computer science has always been something I've been interested in, but at that point in my life I wasn't sure. After high school, I took a few years off where I focused on art and built my skills up to a decent level. On screen now is some of the work I did during those years. I ended up deciding I wanted to pursue my other interests as well. That's when I started researching more about web development. That is what I'm currently most interested in. I think the front-end aspect of it would allow me to express my passion for visual design and allow me to continue learning and working with computers. I hope someday to be able to combine these two interests in a unique and innovative way.
Why did I choose computer science? I had an interest in programming about 2 years ago and wanted to go into game development in my recent years. I took 2 years of mobile app development and a year of AP computer science in high school and gained 2 years of experience in Java. Game development itself may seem easy to do, and it is. if you want a game that has no quality to it. It's hard work and is boring at times. Even I had some trouble with some of my ideas for a work in progress game. I've restarted that project about 7 times now, and I'm hopefully working on the last version of my game. I'm still learning a few things about game development, and my experience with my project still needs some work. As you've watched for a short time here, I've been building the map for my game. It's boring, as most of it is just copying a template that I made and recoding the doors to send the player to the right location. Testing a game like this while it's still in development is extremely necessary to ensure there are as few bugs as possible. Every part of this work in progress game that you see here will change before it is published, from the character sprites to the tiles used to make the walls and floors. If you want to follow the progress of my game, then you can follow my Instagram at Forgotten Wolf. I will occasionally post some of the game's progress, and there I will announce where and when the game will release when it is final.
Hey, what up, guys? One reason to do computer science is the advancement of the world. The world is run by computers, so it is really important to improve them as much as possible. Devices that make our lives easier, like phones or anything internet related, have something to do with computer science. Computer science is beneficial for everybody. Is that all?